Good evening. This is Maestro Cortello with the Dawn of War 2 Retribution Elite Modcast. Today we have 3v3 on Argus Desert Kate. Classic map, classic matchup. Our first player is Klip as this Force Commander. He's got a very nice skull insignia. Force Commander is a tanky melee hero. He's really red here. He disrupts, he can punch vehicles. He's standing against the wall right now. His teammate is Siergiej as this another very red hero, this Grey Knight Bro Captain, very tanky, can't get a good angle out on him. He is wearing Terminator armor, he has a cape and a big Force Sword, he is a tanky melee hero, he cannot be knocked down or suppressed. Yeah. The final player on this team is Kvek as this Commissar Lord. Capturing the point, standing here looking like a boss. He is a slightly tanky melee hero. He has a free energy shield, but not a great one. He does also focus a bit on supporting his troops, executing them to make them fight harder. Right now he's running away in fear, very un-Commissar-like. On the other side of things, we have a very fast Commando Nob just running away. This is Dr. I cure you with my crew key. I'm gonna stay here looking at this for a while. Commando Nob is a sneaky hero, has a twin-linked shooter, very powerful starting range DPS, stun bombs, stick bombs, yeah, he's good too. We have Stego here as this Lictor Alpha running away. Also looks kind of funny running away in retreat. He is another stealth hero, but he fights in melee primarily and has some ridiculous melee damage. Finally, we have Black Ice here as another Grey Knight Bro Captain fighting against Tactical Marines. Wow, look at that big sword slice. Whenever I catch a Bro Captain in a close-up, he's always doing awesome things. Alright, so it looks like the blue team is pushing up a lot. Guardsmen right up against this Tyranid generator. The Sentinel is trying to step on the generator, but it's just using its laser instead. And now we have an infiltrated Commando Nob sneaking up. Unfortunately, I don't think he's really in a great situation. Overwhelmed by Guardsmen as well as that Sentinel. Not really a great use of that Commando Nob, but he has been upgraded to have the Assassin's Knife, turning the Commando Nob into a melee hero. And we already have a hero going down. Klip loses his Force Commander. Looks like he also lost a Scout Squad. He's only got his double tax now. So the blue team definitely pushed up a lot, and they're still actually holding this north. Although I think this force right here with the strike squads, no, it's actually not gonna. I thought they were gonna push forward, but the Sentinel is pushing forward and stomping them. Now, on the other side of things, although the blue team is winning up top, it looks like this is Black Ice's Stormtrooper squads. They are winning in this lane, perhaps because there's no one here. Who's supposed to be in that lane? So that's Klip. Klip is in the middle, so consequently he's losing that bottom lane, and it actually looks like Black Ice is going to get a decap off on one of the natural power farms for the blue team. So that is a consequence of Klip choosing to push through the middle instead of sticking to his lane. Now, Red has compensated for the fact that they lost the top generator farm by putting one on this contested power farm. Alright, blue team is now pretty much completely off the field. This Gen Bash, this should be a full Gen Bash. One squad of shooters, double shooter squads with big shooters, and they have double big shooters each. They should be able to fully wipe this power farm. This one here should actually probably be fully wiped too. But it looks like the Grey Knights from Siergiej coming in. We now have Interceptors, a jump troop for the Grey Knights. Function a lot like Assault Space Marines, although more expensive and probably less good. They teleport. They do not disrupt with their teleport until Tier 2 when you upgrade them with their Justicar. This is a bad position for the Sentinel, I think, unless it has a Stomp ready to go. Otherwise, that was very, very risky. Some funny stuff going on in the chat. Catachan Devil's now out for Kvek. Very versatile choice. Very good in teams for disruption. for being Catachans, and it looks like the entire red team is right here. Now blue team, Klip is retaking his lane. These tanks are standing in cover. They should not really be doing that. There's nothing here. Klip might not know that, but he should still push forward more. The red team are getting all this extra power from having this generator farm, although I suppose they haven't been keeping this one up. So blue team just being really oppressive here. I mean, we've got at least 2 blue team players right here. Both Siergiej and Kvek are here, but they are about to get flanked. And it is very dangerous, especially when a sentinel gets flanked. And then all these guardsmen and Catachans. Oh my god, but so many things happening. I think 1 stormtroopers from Black Ice just might get wiped. No, they just barely get out of there. And oh, this is going to be devastating. Again, the Sentinel needs to get out of there. The Imperial Guard units need to retreat. That Sentinel could be in a lot of trouble, but it looks like Kvek actually used the extra armor upgrade from the Sentinel, which you hardly ever see because it's not a permanent upgrade. The Sentinel has energy, and if you do an extra armor upgrade with it, it will get extra energy. But that's paying resources for extra armor on a Sentinel that is not permanent. You usually don't see it get it. You usually don't see people get it for that reason. Now, I think Kvek got it because he may have judged that that was a very dangerous situation for a Sentinel, and that getting that extra armor could have been the difference between losing a Sentinel and keeping it alive. As it is, I think he needs to back off even more, though, since the blue team just, they lost this lane for now. They need to be really careful. Kvek needs to be careful. So Siergiej has already suffered some losses, lost a Stormtrooper squad. Now Klip, maybe recognizing that there's not a whole lot going on in his lane, is coming back to that middle. This could be a dead bro captain, but probably not unless these Assault Marines decide to jump in. If they jump forward and went after that bro captain, they could have taken him down. But I don't know if it's such a huge priority to take out heroes in teams, especially there. He was already closer to his base than not. This Commissar Lord will probably go down if he does not get some support soon. Shooters can be effective for kiting because one squad can always use the aiming what's that ability to kite whatever unit you're trying to, or to suppress whatever unit you're trying to kite. Lictor Alpha will probably go down right here. A miscue, no force melee from those tactical Marines would have taken out that Lictor Alpha. So missed opportunity. Now again, hero wipes, generally not a huge deal in teams, but you do get the experience from wiping a hero. Not to mention you also, on the other side of things, your opponents will get experience if and when they revive that hero. So one of the interesting things I think about this game is that the players are actually fighting, instead of just sticking to their lanes, the players are actually fighting together. It's very much been at least 2 players in a given lane. Sentinel already level 2. That means it's been getting a lot of kills, and which is a little uncommon to see, given that it still only has its multi-laser, which is not a very killy weapon. I mean, the Sentinel works more because of the pressure it exerts, and you do bleed things with it, but usually not terribly fast because it does not actually do a whole lot of damage. Orcs in here. We now have a shoot a knob on one of Kukri's big shooters, allowing him to detect. I don't know if he really needs the detection, but it also gives him more damage and just makes your shooter squads more durable. Map is, I'd say, more red than blue at this point. The Assault Marines jumping in. Unfortunately, this is bad for Black Ice. Black Ice now has Purifiers. Purifiers are a melee specialist unit, apparently have 500 health per model. They start out with 4 swords. Their Justicar will have a Nemesis Demon Hammer, and they're pretty powerful. I think people have been starting to use them more. They are somewhat redundant with some of the other units that Grey Knights have, like the Strike Squad and the Interceptors, but they are a lot more powerful in melee than those other squads. And it's pretty much everyone is down here. Razorback now out for Klip. I think there's not a whole lot of AV from the red team, which is, I guess, why he can afford to leave this Razorback literally just right in the middle of a huge amount of red team units. But there's still something doing damage to that Razorback, whether it's the Weird Boy. This Commissar Lord is in against way too much stuff, and there's no way he's getting out of there alive. And wow, I mean, look, this lane is tripled. Stego is here, Black Ice is here, I think. Oh, and then Dr. Ikiryu with my Kukri is actually moving back out. And look at that pressure going into the blue team base. Quite a crazy game so far. Lictor Alpha needs to be careful. He's going after that Sentinel, but I don't think he's going to get it. Has been upgraded to Scything Talons. Scything Talons give the Lictor Alpha the Scythe ability. It's basically a disruption ability. Suppresses and knocks back. I think it also does power melee, so it would do extra damage to the Sentinel. This Row Captain needs to get out of there. Has used the Canticle of Absolution. Will prevent all units. Oh! Weird Boy explodes there. I think the strike squad over. That might be a dead Shooter Boy squad, so Dr. Ikiryu with my Kukri has huge losses, but he also has a huge float. So he could instantly replace 2 of those squads. Could soon go to tier 3 if he really wants to. I wonder if that Bro Captain will go down. No. So Ogren's now out for Kvek. Super heavy infantry unit in tier 2 for the Imperial Guard. Basically their only dedicated melee unit, although Catachans are also very beastly in melee. Interestingly, Ogren's, although they are a dedicated melee unit, they actually do good range damage. The DPS is actually something like attack squad. That is, it's literally attack squad or a CSM squad. And I think they even do 100% fire on the move. But once you use their Bonehead ability, they will stop firing their weapons. Now we have Klip has a Force Commander with the Power Fist that will allow him to counter this Grey Knight Dreadnought. Will also be very good against the Zoanthrope if he can get in on the Zoanthrope. But everyone's just got to be careful teleporting like the Force Commander in if Klip chooses to get the Force Commander. Just about the fact that there are so many units, everyone's fighting together. And one of the things that's tricky about teams is just that when you have multiple players fighting together, the range, the DPS coming out of, basically the DPS that's happening is just infinitely higher than what you could expect in a singles match. Singles, what are we playing, tennis? In a 1v1 match. Commissar goes down, but he does take out the Zoanthrope. I would actually say that if he can get a revive, that's a worthwhile trade. He did use Inspire Terror right there to execute that Zoanthrope. A very good choice against Zoanthrope, a great counter to them. Basically just a long-range ability snipe from the Commissar with his pistol. Can be used to execute members and basically, demoralize them, make them do less damage. And this Grey Knight Dreadnought may be in a little bit of trouble. Did get hit by Flesh over Steel. Now has the Plasma Cannon. Will probably take out that Razorback. No! And I think now this is going to be a dead Grey Knight Dreadnought. Flare goes down, and the Grey Knight Dreadnought actually does get out of there. Raveners trying to stay in here. They do have their Devourers. Going to be giving them really good range DPS, especially for a unit that's also a jump unit. But I think the Ravener's going to go down here. 25 health. No, they will just barely get out of there alive. And that's the end of that. That's the end of that Razorback. It actually went down from a hit by the Nemesis Demon Hammer of the Bro Captain. Now that Bro Captain's Nemesis Demon Hammer does not actually do a lot of. Only does regular melee damage. So, which has a significant penalty against vehicles, but it does 100 DPS. So it's just high base DPS. And that Razorback was already pretty low on health. Bro Captain will go down now. Yeah, it does go down, surrounded and overwhelmed by Ogrins. And now Commando's out for Dr. Ikiryu with my Kukri. Commandos, they have actually been upgraded a bit in the Elite mod. They actually have standard range. Standard range is 38. That's the range that Tactical Marines have, Chaos Space Marines have, Dire Avengers have, big Shooter boys on their little Shooter models. The big Shooter has slightly better range. So that's the standard range. And now, wow, a lot of things dying right here. So Commandos now have that standard range, whereas before they actually had really poor range in retail. Commando Nob goes down. Running around because we have a major DACA coming out of Dr. Ikiryu with my Kukri. Although, he was not shooting his own Commando Nob. He was shooting the units that were going after his Commando Nob. Flash gets out. Have their Git Finders. Will use Kandaka from farther away. I'm assuming that means you can shoot from farther away. 318 VPs to 328. And now double missile launchers from Klip. He also has not had a scout squad for like since his starting scout squad. I guess he just doesn't care. But he's got double missile launchers. I guess he got that because he's his lane. Not that the players in this game have really been sticking to their lanes, but in his lane he's got a Grey Knight Dreadnought. So he does want to have 2 sources of AV, or just as much AV as it can. But you do lose a bit of the anti-infantry firepower when you switch out that bolter for the missile launcher, since it will not reliably hit infantry. Oh my god. Look at all that DACA. Double flash kits, both with Git Finders, having really good range, as well as Shooter Boys. Shooter Boys are already known for their ridiculous DPS. And then, I mean, flash kits, as a tier 3 unit, their DPS must be higher. And coming out of only 3 models as well. Those flash kits, very expensive to reinforce those models, though. So much DACA coming from farther away. I mean, you can see that the flash kits are firing from longer range than the Shooter Boys. They're standing behind the Shooter Boys, but attacking the same units. And those flash kits, just with that overwhelming DPS, took out Kvek's Sentinel. And wow, just a huge, massive DPS. Wow, everything dying. And yeah, so the blue team has lost a lot of stuff. Dr. Arcuryu with my Kukri. Oh my god, here's an orbital bombardment, gonna hit all of these orc units. Flash kits get caught in there, so do the... Oh man, that's not good for Dr. Arcuryu with my Kukri. He will probably not have his flash kits wiped, and in fact, nothing gets wiped. But he did lose some models, I guess. Not too much, actually. So that orbital bombardment, actually, I'd say did not do enough for 500 red. This Dreadnought in a lot of trouble right now. Double missile tax, as well as a melta bomb. That is a done Dreadnought. There's no way. Just one more missile. Oh, but it shoots his plasma cannon. But yeah, it's still going to die. There goes that missile. And we have a dead. Alright, Canticle of Absolution. Now, with the Canticle of Absolution there, it prevents units from using abilities. That means the Termagants would not be able to snare the Bro Captain if he decided to charge forward, and the Raveners would not be able to burrow if they wanted to disrupt. So, very useful ability, that Canticle of Absolution. Let's take a look at War Gears for those players who are still alive. This is Siergiej. Does have the Nemesis Warding Staff. Will allow him to use Ward, a defensive ability that reduces damage. He does have that Mantle of Terra, which of course gives him the Canticle of Absolution. He's also getting major levels right now from reviving both of his teammates. Also has Purified Blades. I think is now tier 1, all the way up to level 7. Gives him a chance of passively knocking back with his attack, as well as burning 15 energy with every strike. 273 to 227. Klip, fully kitted out Force Commander, Power Fist, Artificer, and Teleporter Pack. Can't see it now since he died again. Right here against all of the... Oh my god, look at all this DACA. Doom of Malantine now out, but being chased down by Terminators. That's going to be a dead Doom of Malantine. It just got out on the field. That's it. Yeah, it's done. Or maybe not. Wow, so that was really bad luck for the Doom of Malantine. That could have been a dead Doom of Malantine right there. But I guess the Terminators, I don't know, just gave up the chase. If the Commissar had energy for Inspire Terror, he could have taken them out. These Assault Terminators in a lot of trouble right now. They would probably be already dead if those flash kits had the Lastas, though. And we had Interceptors now jumping in with Ward active, as well as disrupting because they have their Justicar. Terminators now going back in there, but relatively low on health. Where did those... A lot of things going down. I think Terminators are going to go down now that Paroxysm from the Doom of Malantine has been activated. So So the blue team losing a lot of their units. They also, it's now a 2-cap against them. I think that Terminator model, will just barely get out of there with 100 health. Dr. Ikuri with my Kukri has also built quite an army right now. Looted tank, going to be great for dealing with blobs of infantry with that boom shot ability. And these, unfortunately, the looted tank is basically path blocked by its own units, and could have died there were it not for the fact that the Ogrins were being seriously threatened by all the Daka right there. Now again, if Dr. Ikuri with my Kukri decides to get Blastus, he will be threatening those Ogrins a lot harder than they're being threatened right now, as well as the Terminators. Those Terminators tanked a huge amount of Daka because they resist, they have a 70% damage resistance, I believe, to piercing damage. That's quite a big damage resistance, resisting 70% of the damage. So red team pushing forward right now, a lot of it just going on the strength of Dr. Ikuri with my Kukri. Now, he does not have any repair support. I think he actually just bought a Slugger Squad. Yeah, he just bought a Slugger Squad so he can actually repair his looted tank. Oh! Emperor's Wrath now from the Commissar Lord basically turns him into a Manticore. Which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it. Although it says Basilisk rounds, but it's like a Manticore. And it shoots a lot faster than the Manticore. You can do some really ridiculous stuff with that ability. It is a very expensive war gear, and it's a tier 3 only war gear. He's actually switching it out for stubbornness now. And the Force Commander almost goes down there. And now a Bane Blade out for Kvek. So Kvek has lost a ton of units. And Vanguard Veteran's about to die. Everything's dying. There's just so much DPS with the builds we have in this game. Commissar Lord going to go down as well. Nope, he's getting his health restored because now he actually has stubbornness. And down goes that looted tank from Dr. Ikuri with my Kukri. Combination of the Bane Blade as well as the Assault Terminators, I suppose. And now a big Demolisher Cannon shot. And a Rocks on top of the Bane Blade, but the Bane Blade is just going to drive forward and actually not take a whole lot of damage from that Rocks. And yeah, the Bane Blade doesn't even have to worry that much. I can hardly tell what's going on, but I think this Assault Terminator squad will finally go down. Actually gets knocked down by the Thornback Carnifex. Yes, dead Terminators for Klip. Klip has lost almost everything. Only has a missile launcher attack squad. Now a orbital bombardment catches guardsmen. Orbital bombardment is pretty good for wiping guardsmen, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this guardsman squad get wiped entirely. I think they will just barely survive. Ogren's in a little bit of trouble as well. And that's another orbital bombardment. And it's basically only hitting this Ogren. And most of the Ogren models, I don't even know where they are. Most of them are already back in base. So that second orbital bombardment, I think maybe a little bit of a waste. I don't know who did it. I don't even know what team did the orbital bombardment. Commando Nob now actually switched out the Assassin's Knife to get the missile launcher. Basically just to give him another source of AV. And this is basically the first break I've gotten in like 10 minutes. That's like the first lull in the action I've seen in a while. Grey Knight Terminators now have Liber Demonica. It temporarily increases their melee damage with the Hammer Hand ability. It actually seems like overkill to give an already extremely powerful melee unit an ability that just increases their damage. Land Raider Crusader now out for Siergiej. Siergiej has a pretty significant Grey Knight army. Now, he does not have any Stormtroopers, so he cannot repair the Land Raider Crusader. Paroxysm goes down right here. Going to be doing a lot of damage over time to these Grey Knight Terminators. Grey Knight Terminators actually in a lot of trouble now. And I think this Land Raider Crusader, we have two huge super tanks from the blue team, the Bane Blade as well as the Land Raider Crusader, but the blue team in general hurting for repair support. A rocket run goes down. I think will kill the Flash gets no. Seems to mostly hit his own stuff. That was a bit of a sad rocket run. Came close to taking out some Flash kits, but ultimately did not. And now this, all right, that Thornback Carnifex was in a little bit of trouble, but he used the charge to get out of there. Rockets going down. And it's actually a 1-to-1 cap. The red is about to have a double cap, though, because they are capturing this natural VP. And Green Knight Terminators, or Paladins, I think those were even, got wiped from Black Ice. Black Ice, with a fairly lean army right now, has his Stormtroopers and the Purifiers. But players have been losing things left and right in this game, and even in the center as well. Mostly in the center, in fact. Ooh, this Doom of Valentine in a little bit of trouble, but I think those Purifiers will intercept those Ogrins. Now the Ogrins in a little bit of trouble, but I think they will just get out of there as well. Demolisher Cannon Shot. I don't even know what just exploded. Was that the Demolisher Cannon? Black Ice now has nearly no units. Flare. I don't know what that flare is doing. It seems like delayed. So the blue team, I think, has, well, they suffered more of the losses early on, but I think in that recent engagement, it was more the red team taking losses. Blue team has rebuilt a bit, and they do have those double super tanks. They have both the Baneblade and the Land Raider Crusader. This bunker here is a repair bunker, and it is repairing this Land Raider Crusader right now. I still think Siergiej should make his next unit purchase an Inquisitorial Stormtrooper squad so that the Land Raider Crusader can have faster repair support when it's by the bunker and actually have repair support when it's not next to the bunker. Since as long as it's by the bunker, it can't defend anything other than its natural, other than the blue team natural. Kvek actually gets a decap here, and I think he may have used Emperor's Wrath right there. Looks like Stego is pushing up in this middle lane now with double Carnifexes. One is a Thornback, the other one is a Venom Cannon, so that Venom Cannon Carnifex will be able to do some damage to the Baneblade as well as the Land Raider Crusader, although I think it will still lose to the Land Raider Crusader. And again, all this DACA, I think it's actually a mistake by Dr. Ikuri with my Kukri not to get the Blastas. Now, I don't fully understand the flash kits, but I certainly know that the Blastas do psychic damage, definitely has a bonus against super heavy infantry, and either does full damage or has a bonus against heavy infantry. I'm pretty sure the regular twin-link shooters they have are only going to be doing piercing damage, so they will have a penalty against the heavy infantry armor as well as the super heavy infantry armor. And a lot of stuff going down right here. These two tanks right next to each other. Another bunker. This one not upgraded yet. This might be the final engagement. Who knows? Repair bunker now. So just repair support by buildings. And the Land Raider Crusader in a lot of trouble, but this Baneblade is actually kind of pincered, taking hits from the Carnifex, from both Carnifexes, now Knobs. Unfortunately, that's going to be a dead Baneblade. It's also taking hits from these Tank Busters. Yeah, Baneblade goes down. Klip again with no units. And Kvek now looking a little, not looking too strong. And the Land Raider Crusader, unfortunately, does not have as much ability to repel those Carnifexes as the Baneblade does. So I think that could be a dead Land Raider Crusader as well. It is getting repair support, but it is being chased down by two Carnifexes. The blue team will need to just get some more support out here to stop these Carnifexes. Maybe with, if there are any, yes, there's a Psy Cannon on the strike squad. That's not a whole lot. And now a Land Raider Crusader for Black Ice. So I'd say, we have Fist of Raucous from the Commissar Lord, but doesn't really have much to synergize with at the moment. Demolisher Cannon Shot or an Emperor's Wrath in place, hits friendly Terminators. One Carnifex does go down though. This other one might take out these. It's not going to take out those Grey Knight Terminators. And that's just a Commissar Flare. No Manticores out on the field. This Venom Cannon Carnifex could be in a lot of trouble, but it looks like Klip is choosing not to chase with those Assault Terminators. So 1-to-1 cap. Blue team looks like they should be able to get the cap up here. And it looked like Dr. Ikura with my Kukri threw a burner bomb down here to, I guess maybe to attempt to deny that area, but I mean, those power armor units, Terminators, and strike squads, I don't think they will be too bothered by standing around in the fire for just a few seconds. Cataclysm right there knocks over these Caskins. They're actually in a lot of trouble right now, but they will get out of there. Alright, looks like it's going to be a double cap for the blue team.
An ally has taken a victory point.
And Siergiej is trying to hold up top here, but he has to be careful of those Doom of Malantai abilities. Paroxysm doing some kind of area of effect damage. And then that Cataclysm, just a knockback attack in an area, so you can knock over many different units with it. Klip about to lose his Tactical Marine Squad. Not such great unit preservation by him. And even about to lose, Klip about to lose Terminators. Yet another Orbital Bombardment. Definitely catching a few Inquisitorial Stormtroopers. And the Land Raider Crusader from Black Ice goes down. Surprised to see that, but Klip loses his Terminators. Klip has nothing but his Force Commander now. 1-to-1 cap again, but the red team is now getting the cap 35-43. Oh man! So the game looks like might go in favor of the red team right now. I don't think the blue team can get out in time to capture one of the points. Klip with no units. Yeah, I think that's gonna be probably it for the. That will probably be it in favor of the red team. Level 7 Force Commander, level 10 Bro Captain, level 5 Commando Nob, level 10 Lictor Alpha, has the Menacing Visage, allows him to force a retreat. Level 8 Bro Captain with a completely different loadout. Dead, level 9 Commissar Lord. Definitely saw him die many different times. And that is the game in favor of the red team. That was a ludicrous game. And I think it's been a little while since I cast a crazy 3v3. I do like the 1v1s a little bit more, but I certainly appreciate how amazing it can be to watch some of these crazy 3v3s. I hope you enjoyed the cast. Have a good night.